Hello, welcome to another episode of Coffee with Mirko, a podcast where we talk with coffee professionals and non, and where we just love to have a chit chat with our guests. Today's another big episode. Super pumped. We're having someone who's been setting standards and setting really amazing trends and lots of goals, and he's very well known in the scene, young, fun, cool, stylish. Yeah, we're talking about Arnon. So most of you probably know him as Ristr8to. So I'll send him an invite. I'm not sure if he can see that we are live, and we'll bring him on as soon as we can. So if you're new, welcome. My name is Mirko. I run a few fixation pages. One of them is Coffee Fixation. If you enjoy this podcast and episode, please feel free to share this. Take a screenshot, tag us, and well, speaking of the man, he's in the house, so we'll bring Arnon on.
Hi guys, สวัสดีครับ
Hey man.
Hi, how are you guys?
Yeah, good. Thank you so much for coming and giving us your time. And first and foremost, big happy birthday. I just
Thank you so
realized
much.
this yesterday. And
Yeah,
it's such an honor to have you on. And thank you for giving us your time, man. I know you're super busy.
Yeah, little bit. We just opened our new coffee shop as well. It's going well considering this COVID situation right now. And thank you so much everyone for coming here, joining us for the session. And I'm glad to be part of this. So yeah, just bring it on.
That's it, man. I just usually the first question, just it's an easy one. You know, it's like, can you kindly tell us a little bit, how did you start your coffee journey?
Oh yeah, it was in 2007 when I was in Australia, and then the first coffee shop that I was working as a all-rounder, which is like cutting the vegetable, doing the sandwiches, and is the barista that was working there is actually joining the competition. So it's a like national competition in Australia. Yep. So in Australia, because it's so big and it's so many talented barista around, yeah. So the competition is like separated in the regional. So he joined the regional in Sydney, and only like few people that like number first, second, and the third get into the final round of the national, and then he won that. Then he won the Australian national latte art champion. Then he joined the world. In the world, you got like first round, you got the semi-final, and then you got the final. That year still got like first round and the final round, and eventually he's like become the world champion. So it's like inspired me to see him working every day, see him practicing the latte art, and that is really like inspired me to join in the barista world. Started with the latte art. Yeah.
Yeah, that's incredible, and I just love the story how you took inspiration from someone, and now you're finding yourself inspiring others.
Yeah, it took me 10 years to get to the dream that I was dreaming back there in 2007. After a while that's doing a barista, following his part of the latte art, and then I was thinking like, actually I should join the competition like he did as well. Yeah, so I started to do the practicing in the latte art, took the barista courses in Australia, and yeah, some of them are pretty good because Australia back there is a very high standard. Like they got 3 world champion in a row for the latte art, especially 2006 until 2008. Even 2009, they still got like second place. So it was lucky that on that period of time, I was in Australia to be part of the specialty coffee there. Yeah.
And what sort of make you go for latte art over barista code? Like, what was that drawn you and attracted you to latte art in the first place?
Ah, yeah, as I tell you the story, it's just because I saw the latte art at first, and then my background is doing the engineering and drawing and doing a music. I was a tutor. I'm playing a tutor in a band,
So
and I think,
I didn't know
yeah,
this. So you studied engineering.
yes, yes. Yeah, so that part is actually helping me later on with the like because coffee is like scientist and the artist mix up together, right? So the scientist side, the number, the calculation and everything, the logic thinking. I think I learned a lot from study engineering in the university. Yeah, and then the artist part is I was drawing, I was in a band, and yeah. So I think the barista life is like really suit my background and my lifestyle so well. Yeah, so glad I'm here.
Yeah, it's so inspiring, and I'm stoked because like it takes a lot of courage to sort of go. You study a certain thing, and you go, even though it's a bit related, like you were saying, you went from
Uh-huh.
engineering to coffee. It's super
Uh-huh.
inspiring. You follow your true passions.
Oh yes, my mom really forced me into to do the engineer job because in Thailand it's really safe and it's a very like everyone respect that career as an engineering. But for the barista is like it's a part-time job. Normally we don't take it as a career as well back there on 2007. So when I was doing the barista in Australia, my family actually is really not happy about that. Uh, and after 2 years of hard working, of study the latte art and the barista, then I opened my own coffee shop in Sydney in 2009. Yeah, and my mom's still not really happy, even though we get like a lot of money from opening a cafe, a coffee shop. But she still would like me to have a consistency salary every month. So I fight my way back there with my family until now. Yeah.
Of course. And before we go to the question from Bag, I mean, you must have gone through such a stressful period because obviously you had to fight, the people that you love the most. And I think that a lot of young people are in the same situation that you were, where family or society pressure or force or really are disappointed if you don't become a doctor, a lawyer, or an
Yeah.
engineer.
Yep.
What's your sort of advice, or what would you say to those people who are afraid of that?
Okay. I think life is pretty short. It's quite long, but it's also short as well. I've been doing barista for 13 years, and I never get bored with it. Like you ask me why not I'm interested in the barista more because I do what I really passionate. I do what I really love and make me happy every day. So latte art is the thing back there, but right now I'm a bit more on the barista and the coffee and food spirit side. So I think the most important thing is you do what you love. You want to wake up every morning like every morning I wake up if I'm not out or if I'm not drunk or anything. I wake up very early like without the alarm just because I would like to come here to my coffee shop to make coffee. And whenever I wake up I don't feel lazy at all. I just feel want to get up on the bed, doing a shower, and come to my coffee shop as quick as possible because I want to make coffee every day. Yeah,
I,
and I
and,
think 13 years is quite long, huh? Doing the normal
yeah,
routine. Yeah.
but
So
I bet it still feel fresh to you because you love it.
yeah, yeah. Every day is still new for me, and all the customer, all the coffee and everything. Every roasted batch is different, and every cup of coffee is. Of course, we would like to make it consistency. We would like to make it the same, but it cannot be. So every cup is a very fun to do the best as you can in the cup. And latte art is make it even more fun because in every cup you can create anything. You can create a lot of things. So it's like drawing. That is why my background is really helping me to love doing the latte art at first. Yeah. And back to your question about like how would I encourage them like to get out of the barrier to do something that people not really believing, but yourself feel happy. I think the happiness, the end of the day, the happiness is the most important. The passion is the most important. For me, money is part of living, right? But I don't want a lot of money, to be really honest. I want balance in my life because I've been around for so many years. I've been started from the kitchen hand, and I'm friend with all the celebrity in Thailand, international. I'm friend with the most like the richest man in Thailand. So when we talk about the experience, I have a lot more than him. Like he really tell us of my life, but my money is maybe like not even 1 in 1,000 of what he has right there. So I think balancing your life is a happiness, is a real happiness. And doing the job that you love is actually main thing because every day, 8 hours a day approximately, that you need to do job. So if you don't like your job, I don't think you will be happy. To be honest, I'm not sure, but because I've been doing what I love for the whole life, so I'm happy every day. Yeah.
And for people who are listening to the podcast, they can't see your face because
Oh, really?
no, we can, but like this will
Uh,
be transformed into a podcast as well, right? So for
uh,
later, for people to re-listen to it, I could see your happiness. And when you were talking about you opening the shop, I could see it. I can
yeah,
feel
yeah.
it, and
Uh,
and
uh,
I
uh.
and
It's true,
I
man.
I'm it's true, and I'm passionate about this topic so much because I was very lucky because my family, they might share their opinion. When I was younger, my mom is a teacher, so she's like all about university, right? Uh, but I didn't want to. I was an academic. I never liked studying. And when I told
Okay.
her I want to start working and then travel, um, that's when my mom said, well, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. And then she always asks the final question, are you happy? And if the answer is
Ah,
yes, she's happy for me to pursue that.
okay. Very good, mom,
I'm
man. You are
lucky
so
that she's
lucky.
like that. So,
Uh-huh,
and
uh-huh.
that's why I'm passionate to hear stories like yours because you don't just inspire people to get into coffee, you're inspiring people to pursue their passions like you are, which is amazing.
Yes, yeah. It, it it doesn't need to be coffee because I know most of the people that listen to our live is obviously barista and all the coffee lover, right? Because that's our passion. That's what we love. So if you love coffee, you just try your best to make it as your career, to do every single detail, every single cup the best as you can. Like my coffee shop, we start from 8 cup of coffee in the first day, and first day we open like 16 hours. Yeah, from oh no 13 hours from 8 in the morning until 11 p.m. almost midnight, and we sell only 8 cup of coffee a day. Yeah, it doesn't seem to that the thing that you can live with that, right? Yeah, but from there, in about like 3 4 months, we become like 100 cups of coffee. I went to every single table to do the latte art because when I was opening my coffee shop in Thailand, no one understand about latte art. No one knows about single origin. No one care about barista. But it's not about what they think. It's about what you believe. So I believe that latte art is very catchy and good coffee. It's good coffee. Everyone can appreciate that. So I get the single origin beans, maybe one of the first few specialty coffee shop in Thailand that doing that. I'm doing the specialty latte art. So every single cup of hot coffee, I went to the table and then I poured a latte art in front of the customer. I spent like maybe an hour a cup to talk to the customer like, okay, this is the Brazil, the nuttiness we put into this glass or this cup, the size and the shape is helping to bring out this, and then the milk you steam in this temperature, the foam and everything, the latte art, how is everything come up together in that cup? So from there, like 8 cups a day, and then we constantly climbing up until about, I think about a year after we opened, we hit like the maximum is like 1,200 cups a day, every day. Yeah, yeah, start from
That's
the 8 cup.
from 8 to 1,200,
Yeah.
and it goes to show what you just saying before. Like you started from washing dishes. You know,
Yes.
you know where you are by chance, by luck. You put in the effort, the work, the belief, but
Yep.
your fuel was actually the fact that you were happy doing what you were doing.
Yes. Actually, I was
Like that
happy
was your
when I was
drive.
doing the dishwashing as well. This was very
Yeah,
fun.
but you were happy because that was your drive. How happy and passionate you were about what you were doing, what you
Uh-huh.
are doing.
Yeah, yeah.
And Veg, we got back to here. We get back to this topic in a minute. Veg is
Yep.
asking, did you have a coach who trained you for the competition?
Okay. For the latte art, I don't have any coach at all. I have only my friends to helping me watching the cups and doing the other things that I cannot do because I understand latte art a lot. I'm not trying to put myself up, but I've been doing this
You
for
do.
yeah 10 years before I won the world champion. I've been competing in the world latte art competition for 4 times. I won the national Thailand champion every time I compete, and I went to the finalists of the world 3 times. Get number 6, number 5, and then finally number 1. So I think I'm one of the most understandable about this competition and this game. So I don't have a coach actually.
That
I do
that, that
everything mostly by myself. Yeah.
that's impressive. And something else that stands out when it comes to you is that I feel that you have the same approach as coffee versus engineering when it comes to your style, your influence. You really are yourself. You got
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
a distinctive style, a distinctive way of posting, and I just love that because I think that
Really?
yeah,
I don't know. I
I
just
think that
photos I like.
I think that you are literally representing two big components. One, what we talk about, which is do what makes you happy, which you
Uh-huh.
are,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
other one is always be yourself.
Yes, that's actually right because how to say that if you're trying to be someone else, you can have an idol. Yeah, like for me, I don't have like role model or something, but everyone is my idol in something. Like if I talk to this person, you would, let's say is like farmer, the way he growing this seed, the way he growing the coffee beans and all that is inspired me. And then back to when I was the dish watching, the man who teach me how to manage the dishwashing area is actually my hero. He he doing dishwashing for like 6 years straight. So I really respect that, and that is also like part of me that am kind of take fun. I'm kind of take everything. I'm looking only in the bright side. I'm looking only in the good side of the people, and then that little thing is inspired me to be who I am today. Yeah, it's difficult to be yourself sometimes, especially in this world, in the social media, you try to be someone else that you not really are. Sometimes it's difficult. So I just let it go. I just be myself and doing coffee. If I'm not happy making coffee, I won't be here. Yeah, I won't making it, even though it's making money a lot now.
Yeah, and And that's what I love the most. You know, we can spend the full hour talking about latte art patterns, but
Yeah.
for me, what we just talked about mattered the most. I think it's the most important aspect because I think that you can really grab the internet and get a whole bunch of information around latte art, videos,
Yes.
tutorials, and
Yep.
it's easier to learn a manual skills over something that you have by nature, which is
Uh-huh.
that drive, being yourself,
Ah.
and how important is that. I really love that.
Yep.
And a quick curious question, I actually don't know this. What was behind your nickname, you know, for the Ristr8to? Like, what's the story behind that?
Okay. That is actually the name of my first coffee shop.
Uh-huh. There you go.
Yeah. So in before I leave Australia in 2011, I'm really into the double Ristr8to base. So every single cup of coffee that I make or I drink in my
Ristr8to.
coffee shop, yeah, double Ristr8to. And I fall in love with double Ristr8to piccolo latte so much back there. So when I was back to Thailand, opened my first coffee shop in Thailand, as I told you, people don't know about latte art, specialty coffee. So I would like to introduce what I have learned in Australia to share about the Australian coffee culture to people in Thailand. It's not saying I'm the best or anything, I'm no better than them or anything, but it's just like I love this thing. I like it. And I would like to pass it on this happiness to you. I would like to share with you. That's why when we first started, I went to the table, I poured the latte art, and that is why I explained that like how is the beans come from, the roasting, how it's helping, the cup, the size, and the shape. I just love doing this, and I love to share this with the people.
And is the number 8 one of your favorite numbers?
Okay. Number eight is actually how to say there. It's a bit keeping thing. Is like I was doing the skateboard thing, and eight is
Yeah,
like
I got you.
skateboard languages.
Ah,
And
yeah.
when
So you were, yeah.
yeah. So when I first start the coffee shop, the coffee shop name is Doppio Ristretto, but I cannot use as a normal word because I would because if they Google that word, it's gonna come up like the coffee. It's not my coffee shop, right? So I want something that when you search in the Google, it come up straight only me, and it's easy to remember because back there in Thailand, there's no ristretto in the menu. People don't even know ristretto, but I know that I love it, and I think the good thing is a good thing. So I know eventually ristretto will be in the menu of every coffee shop in Thailand. So that is why I put that name. I changed the ET into number 8, a little bit screeching.
I love it.
But yeah, but I would like that eventually when people see the Ristretto on the menu in every single coffee shop, they thought about us because we are the first one that start the Ristretto culture in Thailand. So that's come to the nickname of my coffee shop, and it's also my son's name as well.
Sorry?
It's also my son's name.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I didn't know that much. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. And okay. And so right now you got the shop, and now you got the roastery. What where are you going with the competition career? Is you
Okay.
still what's the goal with that?
Okay, sure. So in the competition side, I love it because I want to win or anything. I love it because it's pushing your limit to the next level. Without competition, maybe we just doing good coffee every day. And after I've been competing in the latte art, first my goal is like when I won the world champion, I will stop doing the competition because that my biggest dream. When it's come true, I wanna relax. I wanna enjoy my life, enjoy my spending some money. I don't wanna get pleasure. I don't wanna get headaches. about thinking of the competition anymore. But after I won the world champion, it's actually opposite because you have the chance to go around the world. Like after I won the world latte art champion, I've been invited, I've been hired to do the latte art seminar, to do the latte art courses in many countries. I've been to almost 60 countries in total, yeah, around the world, and I have a chance to do the show with world champion, but in different categories. And that experience is remind me of like, gee, the coffee is just incredible.
And,
Yeah.
and isn't it funny that if you actually chose the engineer career, you may have visited only 3 or 4 or 5 countries just for holiday.
It's a matter of fact because all of my friends in the university, I'm not saying all, maybe like 95%, they are all engineers and they are work 5 days a week. And when they have holiday, they need to rush to holiday. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I think most of them is been to like not more than 5 countries. I'm not saying the more the better, but
No,
it's like,
but
yeah,
I'm talking about perspective because
yes,
not only you're doing what you love, but you also got
yep,
that, which is I always say in the podcast this: once you choose your passion, your job is not done yet. Like you also need to choose the underlying, the sub layer passion. Is it because coffee doesn't mean that you gotta
okay,
be
yes,
competitor.
yes,
You can be
yes,
blogger, photographer, videographer,
yeah,
designer,
yeah,
barista, coffee shop owner, roaster, green bean
yeah,
buyer. You can be
yeah,
a lot of roles, but you need to choose so that you
uh-huh,
can channel all your energy into your sub passion of your passion. And you did
yes,
that, and it allowed you to create a career, start a business,
mm-hmm.
and travel 60 countries. It's not about more is better, but it's just like, it just proves that you made that happen. And I, I just find it so endearing and humbling how you started in coffee because you were inspired by someone.
Yes, yes,
Now, now we're gonna hear a story very soon for someone who was inspired by you. So you're giving back the inspiration.
okay, yeah, it's great to be that, yeah. And I
It's
think
good.
it's take a lot of time because I told you it took me 10 years, right? I think my sub passion is a competition, to be honest. Like back to your question before about the competition, what am I planning next? So basically after I won the world champion and then I went to many countries, I think it's opened my mind, it's melting my ego, it's make me more humble to see the world. I realized that people who always stay in the same country is building up the ego a bit. And people who travel a lot is kind of very easygoing, very open-minded, very positive. So I really love that part of the experience that I have a chance after I won the world champion. And the other part is I met the world champion in different categories. We become friends like Mikales, Erwin, Anishka, Manos, so many people that are good in different fields in the competition. And it's made you, again, be inspired by them. Like Mikales really inspired me a lot about the copying good spirit until I went into the competition because in Australia I was doing a barista, right? But I was doing a bartender as well together in my longest job. So I was doing bartender and barista for about 1.5 years in Australia. And when the coffee good spirit competition come to Thailand, I joined the first one, and then I won that. And then I went to the world again. I went to the final six. Some mistake can happen, or yeah, I fail on the final round. I get sixth place in the world in Berlin 2019 World Copying Good Spirit Championship. But the presentation that I prepare is not complete because some mistaken. So that's why I joined again in the National Thailand Champion Copying Good Spirit again, and then I won again this year. So I will be represent Thailand in next year World Copying Good Spirit again. And maybe the final goal is a barista, because as I say in the beginning, a copy is a scientist and artist, and I think barista is the competition that show that part the most. Yeah. So I think eventually I will be there. Yeah.
I'm excited. I think I can't wait for all of this, and even reaching top 6 is super amazing. And the fact that you're so humble about it just says a lot about your character. And we reached the halfway mark of the podcast, and I usually ask a out of the box question. It's a ritual question we ask all the guests.
Yeah, sure.
If you could, who would you like to have dinner with? It can be anyone, and it doesn't have to be coffee. Whoever you want.
Ah, Christopher Nolan, the
Okay.
director. Yeah. I
Okay.
would like, because I was a fan of him since the first movie. I'm not sure many people knowing that the following. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
he's become a little bit famous from the Memento. Yeah, I really love that movie. And then he become a big hit in the Dark Knight. But the Batman Begins is also like one of my favorite in the trilogy of the Batman. So I've been his fan since he was almost like no one know him. Yeah, until now he's doing like, I think one of the best movie of all time, Inception, in my opinion. Yeah. Yeah. And every single movie of his, it's like, fuck man, how can you come up with that fucking thing, you know? So I would like to have a dinner with him, have a chat about where did all this idea come from, and how did you manage to make that into the line between the math and the craft thing, you know? Because that is my goal in the coffee. I'm not trying to serve the best and the most expensive coffee in my coffee shop. I would like to be Christopher Nolan in the coffee industry, to bring the specialty coffee like the world standard and the commercial standard, bring it up to the middle point, you know. So because for me, specialty coffee is quite big, but it's also small. In the world, they got like so many people, and I think specialty coffee is only like maybe 5% of that. Yeah, what's about another 95? But I would like to make them appreciate the specialty coffee, the world competition as well. So that is why I would like to be between the line of the specialty. We're not trying to be a snobby. We're not trying to, oh, you need to drink only geisha, you need to drink only like anaerobic fermentation coffee. I don't want to push people. I serve them what they like. In my coffee shop, we have the level of the menu from the beginner, which is we're gonna introduce the coffee flavor for people who not normally drink coffee through the dessert that I like orange cake, Thai milk tea, vanilla and all that. And then the intermediate level to introduce the specialty coffee for the people who normally drink coffee every day but not really appreciate the real flavor of it.
A
So
bit,
we use
a bit like Christopher Nolan, like the Dark Knight, right? You don't have to be a Batman fan to like the movie because it's such a
yes,
good movie. So you were
yes,
saying you don't have to be a cup taster to enjoy this coffee.
yes,
I
that's
just want to
exactly
make
what it
sure
is.
that it's for everyone, and it's
Yes,
everyone's personal journey to get to
yes,
what they want to get to out of coffee, and it's all within the
yes,
experience of the
yeah,
movie. In this case, it's served as a
yes,
drink. I get you.
yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's what I would like to be. So I would like let's say his movie, the audience love it, right? Like it's make 1 billion US dollar around the world. That's a lot. It means the people, normal people love it. And then the reviewer, or the criteria and all that, they also love it. And I believe the photographer, the director, other directors love his movie as well. So I would like to be the coffee shop that when the barista come in, they are surprised, they are amazed with our skill, with our bar flow, with the menu. But I also would like people who don't really know anything about coffee to come in and they can enjoy and appreciate what are we serving as well. So back to the menu, that is why I separate into four levels: beginner, intermediate, expert, and the world class coffee. So everyone, whoever you are, you can come here and enjoy coffee in our roastery. Yeah.
Well, speaking of which, good timing. Stitch DJ commented, when I was back in Chiang Mai, I will come have coffee at Ristr8to. Best coffee I've ever had.
I think he means he came to Ristr8to. Yeah.
Exactly. I think he came to Ristr8to to have the best coffee, and he wants to come back to Chiang Mai because of that. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
Thank you so much.
beautiful. It's good. I just saw that Bianca tuned in. Is a very young barista who is doing a lot in Indonesia. She's like started roasting and she wants to compete. And she's only like 16. So what advice do you have for very young people who wants to pursue coffee?
I think young people nowadays are very talented and they got a big potential to be someone. Everyone got energy, and the world today is different from what we are before. Like when I first started the coffee industry, it's so difficult for us to get the knowledge of the coffee. I need to pay like 200 Australian dollars just to sitting there and watching the video teaching how to do the latte art. Yeah, 200 Australian dollar. But nowadays you can see most of the technique in the latte art in the YouTube video. You can go to the coffee shop. Now coffee shop is everywhere. You can learn about barista in much cheaper price, and you also can Google the knowledge about the coffee in the internet is a lot. So I think the potential of nowadays barista career is very big. As you see, many of the world champion or many of the famous barista, they are making money for their life with only doing a coffee, and some of them make heaps of money as well. I'm not talking only about money, but like career is mean like some of the things that you
Has to be sustainable. Yeah.
Yes.
Of course, and it's important. 100%. Don't be sorry. I think money, it's an important component.
Yeah.
We need to talk more about money, because if we want to pay more for coffee at origin, we need to charge more.
Yes.
And we need more skills. Then we need to be able to say, well, you know what? Coffee can be a sustainable industry in a lot of countries. Not every country, because some are less fortunate, but in a lot of cases, baristas can make enough money to live their life and do what they love, which is super important. Tanti is asking a question. What inspired you in finding drag line and eye technique?
Yeah, I think I answered this question so many times. I think it's quite inspired. So, as everyone knows, before the time of my competition, people always doing a swan, a tulip, a rosetta, and because I was in my coffee shop, I'm also doing that. And the customer not really get it. Like we're doing 8 rosetta, we're doing a very fine line rosetta. The customer, they love the heart more than what we show our skill. You know what I mean? So that when I realized that actually people love to see what they are actually know what it is. Yeah. So latte art is the first thing that they see when you put the coffee on the table. That is the starting of the idea that I would like to make something that people recognize it. not only barista that, oh, okay, this is a damn fucking good Rosetta, but another 95% people don't really get it. So that is the started idea of why I would like to do something that people uh, can recognize straight away when they see the cup. But it's so difficult to make it. The idea is simple, but it took me, yeah, I started competing in 2011. It took me about 6 years to come up to that dragging line technique. So in the competition of the latte art, because mostly we're doing tulip, we're doing Rosetta, we're doing a swan or a bird. So when we're steaming, the milk, let's say, is 100% air. We're normally using up to about 90% only, because the 10% or 15% last part of it is only foam. And we cannot do Rosetta or tulip or anything with that before my time. So when I'm doing the competition, my first pattern is an owl, and then I'm drawing the eye, which is using the same technique of the head of the swan, and I use the foam a bit more than normal. I use the last 10 and 15% part a bit more than normal to draw the eye of an owl. So I think like maybe I can use this part to do something, to draw something. And then when I come up to like what to complement my owl, maybe it needs to be an animal. And when it comes to the animal, it needs to be the animal that people saw it and people realize what it is. So it needs to be like the ear of the rabbit. That is the first thing that the eye and the dry foam technique is actually started, and it's opened the world of the latte art start from there. So I'm trying to use that dry foam, the last 10% part, to be as effective as possible. And yeah, it took me about 6 months to come up with the rabbit, the fox, and the deer, just to, how to say that, to break the boundary of the latte art, to make the latte art actually what people can appreciate it, what other people can appreciate it. When they see, they know, oh, this is the rabbit. When my customers see, oh, this is the deer, this is the Pegasus, this is the unicorn, without etching, because in my coffee shop it's busy, right? So we need to make everything pretty poor. So I think all those experience, all those detail, all those things that I'm thinking to fill up the score and fill up the, how to say that, the best for my business is come up to that pattern.
That's
It
so
saves the
good,
weight as
man.
well. Yeah. Because you
Uh,
use every single drop of your milk. It's good for your score, and it's also good for your wastage in your coffee shop as well. Because the dry foam technique, you need to use exactly the amount of the milk. You use them all, almost all, in the picture. Before we use only like 85%, 80%, but now with the dry foam technique, you need to use like at least 95% to get those complex design. So it's like everyone winning. We are lower the wastage. The customer get the pattern that they can appreciate. They can have fun before they even drink it. So it starts from there. Yeah. Simple but
yeah,
not simple. A lot of
I,
detail.
I, I get you. It's simple but not simple. And Dan Logan, my friend Dan, saying only only hearts when it's very busy in the shop.
Ah, I know. Mostly I'm doing Rosetta when we are busy in the shop. Yeah. But
And
hey,
Tanti just said that you're super inspirational, and that
oh,
yeah, you
thanks.
are. So I agree.
Yeah.
We are approaching the end. Unfortunately, the time really has flown, but we still have about 15 minutes, unless you gotta
Uh-huh.
go, of course. But I want to ask you a couple of questions. They're a
Yeah,
little
sure.
bit bigger. First is, what is your coffee mission, and what is next for you? As in, what's coming up next? in the
Okay.
next few months. Yeah.
Uh-huh. So right now we have the new coffee shop, the new company, which is the transformation for my first Ristr8to, because after I've been around the world, after I've been competing, I've been judging in barista as well, I realized that it's much more than the latte art that the coffee can do. So now my new coffee shop, we will focus on 5 things. So my goal is to bring that to the world standard in 5 categories. So we have a brewer, we have a coffee good spirit, we have latte art, we have barista, and we have roasting. We just launched the new roaring 15 kilos roaring roasting machine. Yeah. So we have fun with that to consistently control the quality of the beans, to find the new origin, to find the new flavor in the coffee to be used in our coffee shop. That for our fun. We have brewer. We are the brewer. We got second place in Thailand. The roasting, my friend, got fifth place in Australia. The barista, we got like champion of the Thailand is my friend. And the latte art, obviously, we got the world champion. The coffee good spirit, we got sixth place in the world. So my goal, if possible, is to bring every category to the world finalists in our coffee shop. Yeah. Is maybe impossible. I don't know, but we try. Yeah, we try.
You
And
have proven the impossible doesn't exist, so I believe that you will make it for sure.
hopefully. Oh, and then one thing I learned along the way is like uh, creativity is come from when you want to fix the problem with the best solution in the cheapest way. Yeah. So, every country, they got their own problem. Like fashion is come up because of the winter problem, right? People wearing all this sweater, all this fashion dress because in the summer you wear something, in winter you wear something. So the fashion is like the creativity way to to solve the problem of the weather. So I think in coffee is about the same. I- In the competition, we solve the problem with how to say that, not the best coffee. Mostly people not use the most expensive. We're trying to balance. We not use the cheapest, of course, but in my coffee shop, we are not trying to sell geisha only. We have geisha, but what we would like to sell more is how we blend like 2 or 3 cheap beans. We use our roasted skill, we use our blended skill to make something as surprise for the normal customer as a geisha in maybe like 10 times cheaper cost. And that is more fun. It's more fun for me because it's like when we was doing a bartender, my friend is like number 2 in the world of the Bacardi competition. He told me like the best bartender is not the one who serve the most expensive whiskey to the customer, but the best bartender is the one that combined all those cheap things or those wasted that you really need to sell it that day and make some amazing drink from there. Yeah.
It's like a cooking. The people who can cook with the ingredients they have at home
Mm-hmm.
is the creativity with what's left in the fridge rather than go and buy a whole bunch of new ingredients. I get you.
Uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah. Something like that, but like the real chef, it's gonna be, how to say there, it's not limit of the ingredient that they can use. It's similar to us, barista. We can choose whatever coffee we wanted. If your business is successful, you maybe can stock a lot of the like La Palma, like Esmeralda, all those famous farm and expensive coffee. I'm not saying expensive coffee is not good, right? Because the price is actually affect the quality of the coffee. I love those coffee. I also have their coffee in my coffee shop as well. We've been to the Panama, we've been to the Costa Rica, we've been to the farm, the famous farm. We got the coffee bean from them. But we are more would like to support the farm that no one knows. We would like to support the farm that doing the coffee with the passion similar to us. We want to bring them out. We want to use the coffee beans to compete in the world and show them like, okay, this is how is this local farmer doing in their farm, and how are we and them together doing this fermentation, doing this varietal, what are we would like from there, how do we working year and years together to get this coffee. We don't want to go to the famous farm, buy the most expensive coffee, okay, I want this, and then I will use this for the competition. We want to building the relationship, we want to growing this coffee together, and then we bring that as our baby to the competition.
I love it, and I think it's such a cool approach, and I love it. It's really good. We still got time for one more question. Ripins Pro, I love your username, Ripins Pro, is asking, what is one advice that you would give yourself when you started in coffee? So if you could travel back in time, what would you tell to Arnon when you started coffee?
You need to drink coffee more, because back then when I first started doing the latte art, I didn't drink coffee. No, I doing the latte art because I want to do latte art. I'm not really actually like the coffee, so I'm doing coffee for about 2 months until I have drink espresso. Yeah. So the first cup that I have is a cappuccino from the world champion 2007 latte art, just because I would like to get my first cup of coffee from the world champion. And after that, I just don't drink it because I'm not really like the bitterness, back there is still about Italian style, which is not wrong. I enjoy dark roasted. Yeah. But as I told you, I'm looking only in the bright side. I'm looking at their culture, looking why are they doing this dark roasted. Is because of the beans they have back there. It's about Robusta, also some of the low grade Brazil. So they need to hide the low quality, the bad flavor of the beans. That's why they roast it until you overcook it, because you don't want to show the bad side.
Exactly.
So in Italy, I'm quite enjoying though, to be honest. With the culture, the environment, the people, the barista, the style and everything, it just makes you fuck, this is good.
Which is funny because I got the opposite, because I'm from Italy. So and I've been living in Australia for 9 years. But because of the bitterness, I never drank coffee in Italy until I came to Australia. So I started drinking coffee only a few years ago because I was working in a specialty coffee shop, and I started drinking. I did the opposite. I started drinking 90 plus coffee because we were using that at the shop. And now when I go back to Italy, it's such a different experience for me. I was like, but it's not wrong. It's just culture, like you say. I love what you said. I'm so happy that you could make it today. Honestly, it was so fun.
Can I add one more thing?
Please.
I think everything is about timing. Like, if you actually start drinking coffee in Italy, maybe your personality of drinking coffee is different. I was in Italy drinking the dark roast espresso after 2 years of working in my coffee shop, of doing coffee for like 1,000 cups a day, every day, constantly for 2 years. So I actually understand that people are different. Every culture are different. And again, is the thing that come up is the solution of the problem. The dark road is one of the solutions from the bad quality beans, right? Yeah, so I kind of appreciate what people are serving, because I've been around, I've been seeing many Italian in my coffee shop. But if I went there, when I'm a coffee snobber, when I started with a big ego, with a fuck, I'm number 6 in the world, man. Come on. Yeah, I don't drink this shit coffee. It's maybe different opinion. So I think
100%.
everything, yeah, not right and not wrong. It's about good timing. Yeah.
And I always say that it's about what you like, and often coffee is the experience. So I prefer drinking a bitter Italian coffee with 5 friends that I haven't seen in many years
Yes, yes,
than
yes, yes, yes,
drinking
exactly.
a 90 plus coffee by myself at home.
Fuck, that's a fucking good example, man. It's,
Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
And to be honest, it's like coffee is so personable and subjective, and it's okay. There's no right or wrong. That's why I'm working on a second project, and the tagline is gonna be for everyone. You know, like it's not about this is a secret club. It's about sharing a story behind a coffee cup based on what you taste, not what I tell you to taste. And it's like you said, there's no right or wrong, and I love it. It's just
Yeah.
man, I could keep chatting with you for like another hour, easy.
Underwear, fuck, man. Yeah. And another thing about timing is like when we first started, what I love the most is the latte art, right? And it's lucky for me that on that timing, people don't know about specialty, they don't know about the latte art, but they started to get there. Like everyone drinking iced coffee here in Thailand. If I'm started right now with the full-on latte art, I think people might not be appreciate it because now people more into the specialty coffee, into the black coffee. People try to be healthy, not to drink the normal milk. They try to use oatmeal and the soy milk. Nothing wrong with that. But if I'm start the full-on latte art right now, maybe we are not successful as we are today. Yeah,
Timing is everything. Even
yeah,
Ripping Spur just said it. Yeah, 100%.
yeah,
Um, yeah, we're running out of time because Instagram would shut it
yeah.
all down very quickly.
Okay,
But
sure.
Anand, thank you so much for coming. I'm super grateful.
Thank you,
Honestly,
man.
it's been such a blessing. And talking about timing, I
It's
started
everything.
this because of coronavirus and the lockdown. I started this only in
Ah,
April. This
Corona is
podcast.
helping me a
So
lot
you
as well.
see,
Yeah,
timing
yeah,
giving me now the chance to talk to someone like you that is
yes,
inspiring me for many years. So
yes.
thank you so much. And
Thank you so
maybe
much,
we
man.
can do this again. Maybe we can do a second version, second
Yeah,
episode.
maybe
Maybe you can give us a
episode
tour of the roastery.
888. Yeah.
I'm already 82, man.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
maybe we can do a roastery tour, or we can do something fun, something different too, or
yeah,
just
sure.
talking. But
Definitely.
I
Yeah.
hope, look, anytime that you come to Australia, please let me know. I'd love to have you, host
Oh,
you,
yeah.
and,
Definitely, I will be there.
dinner or
Yes,
something.
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Anyway,
So, for everyone that watching, if you love coffee, just keep doing what you do. Believe what you are believe, because people might not see it now, but eventually, after you make every single cup to be perfect, and I think your time will come for sure. Just don't give up, and don't just repeat doing the same copy, but make it better in every cup, every day, year by years. Eventually, you become world champion without you notice.
100% word.
Yeah.
Thank you,
All right.
Anna.
All right. Thank you so much. Huh?
Thank
See
you.
you guys soon. Thank you.
See you
Bye.
soon,
Thanks.
buddy.
Thanks for inviting, man. Stay safe,
Thank you for
everyone.
coming, man. See you in Melbourne.
Bye.
Damn. That was quite something. I I always struggle to remove the guest and come back here and talk to you one on one because my brain is just so overstimulated by all the awesome things that Arnon had to share. So not only I love doing this because of you guys, I love doing this even for myself. It's just adding value to my life, and I get such a privilege out of being able to talk to amazing people in the industry. I know the timer is going to go off soon, so I will have to kind of chop it off. But if you're new, thank you so much for being here. If you're not new, thank you so much for being here. Either or, feel free to share this on your Instagram. It will mean the world to me if you took a screenshot and said, hey, I've just listened to this podcast. It was pretty cool. If not, that's okay as well. And we're running a giveaway for mental health awareness. Check out our page. We're giving away 5 monthly subscription for Headspace meditation. It's not sponsored. It's to give back to people who are suffering, or people who need meditation. And you don't need to be suffering. Like, the lockdown has been hard on everybody, but otherwise, I will big shout out to all of you guys. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. You mean a lot to me. Thank you. I will see you soon with the next guests.